What made the high school legend become a legend? We had a teacher who was infamous for not letting you go to the bathroom no matter what. I mean, so much so that if you accidentally started your period in class, she'd make you wait. Everyone dreaded having Ms. Peterson for sophomore English because of this one ridiculous rule. She'd stand there with her arms crossed, hair pulled back so tight it looked painful, and lecture us about planning our biological functions around her precious class time. There was a girl in our class who we'll call Katie. Katie wasn't your typical troublemaker, but she wasn't afraid to speak her mind either. She'd already clashed with Ms. Peterson multiple times that semester about the bathroom policy. Katie had asked to go 3 times already that month and got shut down every single time. Once she practically begged, saying it was an emergency, but Ms. Peterson just pointed to the clock and said, "You should have gone during lunch." Katie came back the next day with a doctor's note explaining she had a medical condition that sometimes required urgent bathroom breaks, but Ms. Peterson just filed it away and ignored it completely. By the time finals week rolled around, everyone was stressed and on edge. The classroom was stuffy that day, the ancient heating system cranked up way too high, and we were all sweating through our shirts. About halfway through Ms. Peterson's lecture on Shakespeare, Katie raised her hand. "Ms. Peterson, may I please use the restroom?" she asked politely, shifting uncomfortably in her seat. Ms. Peterson didn't even look up from her book. "No, Katie, you know the rules." Katie waited 5 minutes, visibly uncomfortable now, squirming in her chair and trying to focus on her notes. She raised her hand again. "Ms. Peterson, I really need to go. It's urgent," Katie said, her voice strained. "I said no the first time. The answer hasn't changed." Another 5 minutes passed. The clock seemed to be moving in slow motion. Katie's face was getting flushed, and she was biting her lips so hard I thought it might bleed. She raised her hand one more time, more desperately now. "Ms. Peterson, please, I'm serious. You're not going to like what happens if I can't go to the bathroom right now." The entire class went silent. No one had ever challenged Ms. Peterson like this before. Ms. Peterson slammed her book shut and marched over to Katie's desk, looming over her like a vulture. "Is that a threat, young lady? One more word out of you and you'll be spending the rest of the day in Principal Walker's office. Is that clear?" Katie looked her dead in the eyes, shrugged her shoulders, and calmly said, "This is on you then." And then she did it. Right there in her seat, Katie just let go. The sound of liquid hitting the plastic chair and then dripping onto the floor echoed through the dead silent classroom. A few gasps broke out, but mostly everyone was just frozen in shock. Ms. Peterson's face cycled through about 15 different emotions in 3 seconds. "Get out!" she screamed, pointing to the door. "Get out and go to the principal's office immediately!" Katie surprisingly stood up from the puddle and walked out with her head high. The remaining hour of class was the most awkward 60 minutes of my life. The janitor had to be called. Later that day, we heard Katie had been sent home. Apparently, Principal Walker had called Katie's parents, and her father, who we found out was a urologist at the university hospital, had absolutely lost it. He'd stormed into the school, credentials in hand, and explained in excruciating medical detail to both the principal and Ms. Peterson how dangerous it is to force someone to hold it for extended periods. He outlined all the potential health issues. "Do you know what could happen to my daughter's health because of your ridiculous power trip?" he'd reportedly yelled. "Would you like me to bring in my medical textbooks and show you pictures of what bladder infections look like when they spread?" Ms. Peterson was put on administrative leave for a week. When she came back, she was different, quieter, less sure of herself. And the bathroom policy was completely gone.